Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Psychic Medium Toni Greene relationship episode. So, today's episode is all about relationships and relationship dynamics. Do you have a question about the relationship you're in? Do you want to know where is this going? Is there something going on you just don't quite understand in the relationship? We've all been there. There's no shame in that game. So, you can call in with any questions that you might have about your relationship or relationship dynamics. The number to call in is 845-277-9131. Now, if I do not get to your call today, don't worry. Somebody else might call in that asks a question, and the answer I give may be similar to the answer that you need. Rudy from Rude Rangers TV and Rudy's Room is going to be joining me on the show today to give the male perspective. I'm going to give the psychic medium, intuitive perspective and the female perspective. And Rudy is going to give the male perspective. Now, Rudy has been married for quite some time, and he's been married for over 20 years. So he knows what it takes to keep a relationship going. He also knows what it takes. He also knows, let me say this correctly. He also knows when a guy is serious about a woman, the way he will behave, the moves that they'll make, the actions that they'll take. I think for a lot of women and some men, don't get me wrong, it goes both ways. How do we know when they're serious? How do we know when they really want that relationship? Are they wasting our time? Well, the number one thing that I've come to realize is consistency. When a guy is showing up or woman, when a person is showing up consistently, they're wanting to spend that time with you consistently, when they're putting more in, whether it be conversations, time together, whatever it is, consistency is key if someone is moving forward with you or wanting to move forward with you. Now, don't get me wrong, people are busy. Okay, I know people are busy. But each and every one of us knows when we are truly interested in someone. We also know when somebody is truly interested in us. The same rules apply. There's no magic quotient, potion to that, right? If somebody's truly interested, they're going to show us, they're going to behave in that way. But sometimes when we are truly interested in somebody else, we can tend to want to believe that they're as interested in us as we are in them. And we sometimes don't face the reality. And that's when people start asking questions like, wait, this doesn't make sense, and that doesn't make sense. And what about this? And that's what we're here for today. If something's not making sense in your relationship, if something is not making sense with the behavior, or you just want to know, when am I going to meet someone? Give me a call, 845-277-9131. I will be happy to do my best to answer any relationship question that you have today. Having said that, let me see. I made one more note about relationships, and I think this is really important. Once you're in a relationship, sometimes you meet somebody and there's that crazy energy, that crazy, my panties fell off and I never touched them energy, that crazy chemistry, that crazy feeling, and we take that as a sign that this is the person. We take that as a sign, this must be my soulmate. This must be somebody I'm meant to be with because I have this feeling. Well, that's possible. That's a possibility. It's possible that that's accurate. But sometimes when we have that feeling, sometimes when we get that energy, we make mistakes. We rush into things. We take things for granted. And we don't do what we would have done if that energy hadn't been there. We don't follow our intuition. We don't follow our guidelines. We definitely don't follow what we would tell other people. That's for darn sure. Um, and sometimes we end up in a relationship, and in this relationship, it starts out okay, but then we get to a point where we are thinking, I'm with this person and this isn't everything I wanted. What do I do? Because some of the things on the list might be pretty big. They might be deal breakers, but you don't know how to get out of the relationship. I just say, you know what? Have that conversation. If things don't change, you got to get out. In life, your partnership is something, your partnership with your other person is something that eventually this is the person you come home to. Eventually this is the person you lay down with at night. If you're not happy, if this isn't what you want, if something about this person is not what you want, if something about the relationship is not what you want, guess what? That's going to be the only thing you can think about. And you're going to wonder why you settled, and you're going to wonder why things, and then you're going to start to find all these other things wrong with this situation or this person to validate the first thing. My advice to anybody who is in the beginning of a relationship, in a difficult relationship, or in getting ready to get into a relationship, make a list. Make a list of everything you want in a person. Make a list of everything you want in a relationship. These are two completely different lists, and people don't realize that. What I'm going to tell you, everything you want in a person. And yeah, we all want chemistry, right? We do. Um, but we want to make sure more that the person has character and ethics, is honest. Oh my God, I cannot stand me a liar. Oh my gosh. How do you look at a psychic and lie? Now, let me tell you, I'm mature and sophisticated enough. I'm not going to sit here to your face and call you on your lies. If that's what you need to do to get through your day is tell a whole story about something, I'm just going to sit there and go, oh, really? Hmm. But I'm not gonna waste my time in that. Oh my goodness, no. Mm-mm, mm-mm. I'll entertain it for a minute, but when that minute's over, so are you. We're done. If you're gonna sit and lie, oh, so you wanna make sure that when you're looking at your list and what you're putting on that list, that this person has these things and you're not getting too involved too quickly that you don't realize this, okay? That's really important. And what you want in a relationship is completely different because that's the dynamics between the two of you and where this goes and how it looks moving forward. The first list is about the person. The second list is about the two of you together and what you want that to look like. And not that you're going to control it, but if you love to travel and you meet somebody that maybe checks most of the boxes but doesn't love to travel, or only wants to travel to one specific place but doesn't want to explore other places, that's something you need to work out before you go any further, if that's really important to you. Okay. So, having said all of that beautiful stuff, I'm going to bring Rudy on now. Hey, Rudy, how are you?
Hello. I am fantastic, and your advice was spot on.
Oh,
Absolutely spot on.
thank you. Thank you. I need to tell you something hilarious, Rudy. My sister, when I told her, I'm going to start a relationship edition to my show, she, she, she said, "Oh my God, you're giving people advice about relationships, are you?" Because I've had some pretty challenging relationships. And I said, "Well, I can tell people what not to do based on all of the things that have happened with me." I said, "But no, no, no. I'm going to have co hosts that actually know about relationships help tell about relationships." Oh, and the funnier part about
Well,
that,
based on that, I don't know if I'm really qualified to be doing that then either. But that's so
well,
funny.
oh my goodness, Rudy, you're so much more qualified than most people because how long have you been married, love?
Oh, okay. I got it wrong last time, so now I'm going to get it right. It has actually been 23 years.
23 years. That is a long
Yes, I got it.
time. That's a long
It
time.
is a long time. I do have a question that I'm sure some of the listeners and the viewers on YouTube are probably curious about. And please forgive me for not, I guess, being as aware as I should be. I would think that as a psychic medium, can't you see if the relationship is going to work out or not?
Yeah, okay, that's a great question. Do you mean for myself or for other people?
Yeah, for yourself. Yeah.
Okay, so yes, there have been times when I've gone out on dates with guys and I can see the person coming in and they're sitting here trying to talk to me and be interested in me. And I see this like in my vision, I see this brunette and I'm like, okay, well, you're going to meet this brunette. And they're like, no, 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 I'm whatever with you. Um, and I'm like, no, 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 no. And sometimes I can when we're at dinner, but I haven't caught feelings for that person yet. So there's this weird thing about me, even with my friends, that once I'm emotionally involved with someone or really close to someone, I stop tapping into them because I'm giving them every benefit of the doubt because I'm taking them at their word. And also, because I am human, I'm down here to experience the same things as other people. So sometimes someone will come in and I, you know, I end up in a situation that is a very human situation that I have to work my way through also, which is amazing for everybody else because then I can turn around and say, well, listen, based on my personal experience, this is what I'm getting. If I had only had, a perfect relationship with the perfect person, which I don't, none of us are perfect and we all have to work our way through. I would never be able to give relationship advice. And according to my sister, I should not give relationship advice. I'm like, no, no,
I love that. I
I give
love that.
it, and I give relationship advice intuitively, not not for. I'll tell some of my personal experiences, but I won't. When I'm talking to somebody else about their relationship, it's all intuition. So, yeah, that's hilarious. So, anyway, Rudy,
Gotcha.
you have a show also. So let's talk. Tell everybody about your show and where they can watch it.
Sure. My show is called Rudy's Room, and it's basically a 1 hour break in your day. There's a lot of dark, heavy stuff in the world. And regardless of what side you fall on, we just try to have a little fun. We laugh a little bit. So, celebrity news, we have special guests, We played some games, and the highlight, which is funny since I'm here now on your show, is that each week a viewer will write in with some sort of relationship question or issue or problem. They tend to be a whole lot more extreme than what you guys have going on right there right now on Tony's show, but we try our best to solve them. And it ranges from someone is sleeping with their employee and doesn't know how to tell their husband to I hate my in-laws and they booked a trip for us all to go out together. And we try to help people solve those things.
I love it. Oh my goodness. And I have watched your show and it is hilarious. I do a lot of spit takes while I'm watching your show. I'm just saying, like, there are some things that are said that totally catch me off guard. And I'll just be taking a sip of something or putting something in my mouth. And all of a sudden I hear something and I laugh so hard. It's literally a little spit take there. So yeah, it's a very
Thank
fun.
you. We have a good time.
Yeah.
Thank you. We have a good time. The highlight of the whole thing also is none of the guests know one another pretty much until about 5 minutes before the show actually starts. And so at first glance and just looking at them on paper or social media, you think they have absolutely nothing in common. But once we sit down and we don't talk about those hot button issues, you realize that we are so much more alike than we are different. And we all just want to have a good laugh. So that's really the point, is to just escape for about an hour. And you can catch it anytime by going to ruderangers.com. We're on Roku, Comcast Cable, Amazon Fire TV, just about anywhere you can watch anything, we're there.
Yeah, absolutely. And I strongly recommend that you watch at least one episode because it will make you crack up. It would just make you laugh. So Rudy, are you ready for the first caller?
I sure am. Let's try and solve some problems.
Okay, we're going to go to caller 415-415. If you have us on speakerphone, please take us off of speakerphone. Also, have a relationship question for us. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Actually, it's 415. I'm sorry. Go right ahead.
Hi, this is Anne in Washington State.
Hi, Anne. How are you?
Hi.
Good. I would like a clearing about really putting myself out there and not clearing any fears about just showing my true self. Because, if it's meeting somebody or writing a profile, dating profile, you need to start off being honest, like you're saying. You have to start off showing this is me, and so you match up with the other person.
Okay, so Anne, here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to do a clearing for being authentic in a relationship. So this is the clearing healing, and it's really difficult to show up and be vulnerable and authentic sometimes, especially in the beginning, right, Rudy? Because so I will do that healing right now. So if everybody listening, re-listening, oh gosh, that's making me even a little lightheaded and dizzy. Whoo, mama.
Be careful. Be careful.
Right? So if you're re-watching or re-listening to this show, you can do this as many times as you want. And that's at about the 18-minute mark of the show, to be authentic and to show up. And let's do one more healing for the person that you are meeting with, for people that you're dating or meeting with, even on a friendship level, to show up authentic and with character, because it's so important, especially in today's world. We want to be able to show up authentic and real and a little bit vulnerable. What I'm going to say, Anne, is, as much as people like dating sites, and I get it, it can be difficult to date on a dating site. I always advocate for people to get out there and listen. There are millions of ways to meet people. Take a night class, take a computer class at night, or in that time that you have that's extra, take a language class, learn another language, because even if you don't meet somebody in your class, you're going to meet somebody in that environment that wants to continue education. Take a cooking class, or whatever it is that you like to do, get out there and do it. I remember my mom was in her 70s and she was still on a bowling league. Like seriously, she believed, and I do too. Get out there and start meeting people if you can. Rudy, what's your advice on that?
Yeah.
I think again you're spot on, and the only thing again I would just reinforce what you touched on very lightly is wherever it is you go to meet the person, make sure it's the kind of activity and make sure it's the kind of environment that fosters the kind of person you want to meet. For example, if you don't like to drink or you don't like whatever, don't go to a bar looking to find that special someone. So if you like to cook, obviously yes, cooking class. If you like to do crafts, maybe a craft store. If you like to read, obviously a library or a bookstore. So make sure that you're in the right environment to meet to meet and attract the kind of person that you want. The other thing I would also say is you really can't fit a square peg in a round hole. So don't try to think that okay, well I met this person in the gym, but I hate to exercise. So I can maybe get them to not exercise. So try to really foster, be in that environment where you want it to be. If you do meet someone at the gym and they're there, and they've got a shape of, they work out 3 and 4 or 5 times a week or how many times a day, just expect they're going to expect that from you too. So if you're not committing to that, then that's a train you don't want to catch.
What? Oh my gosh. Thank you for saying that. I cannot tell. I've said that before. I have not said it as eloquently as you did, Rudy, but that is 1,000,000% true. If want you want to meet someone who has similar interests and loves the same things you do, so go do those things. Like here's something that just came to me while Rudy is talking. If you There's all these meetup groups, so start a meetup on single people who like to A, B, or C. And then whoever shows
Yep.
up. At least you're not spending the night alone. If only women show up, then you've met a great group of women who are single and actively looking, and they might have a brother for you. Who knows? You never know. But get out and do things. So I hope
Correct.
that's
And
helpful.
actually, that you touched on another piece that was really wise with that too. And I won't monopolize all the time.
No, no.
Even if the group, gosh, it's only women or only this, you never know. The right referral can change your life, whether it's relationship or
Yes.
business or even friendship. So just like you said, someone could recommend a brother or a cousin or a nephew or an uncle twice removed. You just never know. But you want to be in the environment that fosters what feeds your soul.
Absolutely. And don't discount the friend or new friend referral. Even if you don't like that person, you think they're a hot mess, all their friends might not be a hot mess. They might be the only hot mess in their group. So give it a chance.
Listen, one person's trash is another one's treasure. You never know.
Exactly. I love this one. I had a girl say to me once, I want to introduce you to my ex. I go, first, why is he your ex? And she told me, I'm like, nope, I'm not interested, but thank you very much. If he's your ex because he cheated, well, he and I are not going to get along. but but
Right.
but seriously, if you can't find a group that is fitting the needs that you want, then make a group. And it's easy. All you have to do is say meet up for single people at this restaurant. You're buying your own food, buying your own beverages, and I think that's a great way to do it, because now you have a group of people that show up, and it's not a one-on-one thing, or a coffee meetup for singles on a Sunday afternoon. That's a great way. So I hope this was helpful, Anne. Well, I think it was. So we're gonna go. Um, I I hope it
One last
was.
thing I'll get out there, Tony. Sure, that's good. One more thing I just want to get out there.
Yeah.
I'm sure somebody's listening and they're thinking, "Oh, I don't know if I want to start a group because I'd be the only one." I can actually promise you, because it's happened so many times in my own life. Every time I think it's just me, whether it's question I'm a little nervous about asking, a place I'm thinking about going, or something I want to see, or something I want to do, you're really never as alone as you feel. So definitely take Tony's advice, give the group a try. I do not think you'll be the only one. And even if you are, it's a learning experience. Everything helps us learn, grow, and develop. But I promise you, just as afraid as you are to start that group and do that meetup, there are probably hundreds of other people equally afraid, waiting for someone to take that step. So it can be you.
Absolutely. And I will say also, even if they're not in your age group, they might know someone. At the very least, you might make a new friend. At the very most, you might meet someone who, you have a very good relationship with. So, Rudy, are you ready for the next person?
I sure am. Let's do it.
Okay, let's go to 203. 203, how are you today?
Hang on a minute. Tony?
Yes.
Tony?
Yes.
Hi. This
Hi.
is Pat.
Hi, Pat.
Hi. I'm wondering, and if you don't want to answer this question and have me call on your other show, that's perfectly fine. But I wanted to ask you about, first of all, my son, and then I realized, well, actually about he and his wife and their relationship.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to tell you, Pat. That's more of a personal, private reading because neither one of them are on the line asking. And I'm not going to want to put their business out there. But if you have a question you want to ask about relationships, I'd love to answer that.
Mother and son.
Okay, what do you want to know?
About the relationship.
I'm going to tell you, Rudy, she's going back to her original question. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Yeah, I am.
She's doing that workaround to get her answer no matter what I say right now.
You're right.
But Pat, go right ahead.
Well, so you know what?
Please.
No. I'm gonna let you speak to someone else.
No, Pat. I know what you want to know, and I'm going to answer it for you. I know what you want to know. Give it 3 months, maybe 4. Things will calm down. They'll be back to normal, not completely back to normal, but they will get better. Remember, you brought him up so he could be in a healthy, loving relationship with somebody else, and you could let go of the reins, even if that means that there's a disconnect for a while. Respect that.
No, that's okay. I'm going to give you a word. Danger.
We're all on this journey called life. And what I'm sure in the past, when you have met people and dated people, I'm sure there are others that said, don't do that. But we all have to learn our relationship lessons. We all have to go through what we go through. And just, you may be right. I'm hearing that Billy Joel song, You May Be Right. I may be crazy or she may be crazy, but here's the point. It's not your choice. It's no longer up to you. You either have to accept or pretend that you accept if you want to be a part of this. And Rudy, as a father, what would you say?
I would say this to you, Pat. What I really strongly recommend for you to do is be there, to be a good listener, to be a good sounding board. Try, if you can, not to interfere, no matter how wrong you feel it is on either side. Because what you don't want to do is you don't want to present a barrier, because that makes the other side so much more appealing, and then it's like us against the world. And the other part about this is that you always want to be that safe haven that they can come to and share. Just try. I know it's easier said than done. I want to put that out there. And I've been in a similar sort of situation, if you will. I'm not giving you the details, but just be open and receptive to hearing whatever it is he or she wish to share. And try not to judge, try not to preach, try not to, be leaning too far one side or the other. Just try to ride and stay in the middle because it's the safest place to be. At the end of the day, I will tell you this because I've lived through this. Everything works itself out. And if you try, it really does. And it doesn't seem like it when you're in that vortex. It really doesn't. And I'm sure your son feels that way. I'm sure his wife or whatever feels that way. And I know you're probably feeling that way. But it really does work out. Just give it some time. Stay there. Be that steady rock, that they can cling to during the storm, and it really will get better. I'm not psychic, but I'm a guy who's lived for a long time and knows a lot about life and relationships.
My lesson clearly for the past number of years, and I'm doing a good job of learning all the time to step back, step back, step back. And if I feel I can't do anything else, to pray when I know they don't want to hear anything from me. But working out, I laugh because does work out, that could mean death.
You know what? Not to minimize, but I do believe in a higher power, and ultimately whatever is meant to be is going to be. I don't wish death, so I don't want to put that out there. But there's a bigger plan for all of us in life. And there's a lesson for you to learn in this. There's a lesson for your son to learn in this. There's a lesson for her to learn all of this. Our real goal is not to prevent whatever fate has in store for us.
I know.
Our true goal is to learn what is our lesson in those moments. And so I don't hear you not minimizing or wishing death or anything like that. I want to be clear with that. But there's a lesson for everyone to learn in this. And I'm going to pray, which I try to do very often. I'm going to pray that everyone finds peace.
Thank you.
Whatever
Thank you
to them. So just know that it's going to happen.
I appreciate it. Thank you both. Thank you both. You know what? My nerves are rattled because I almost lost him once, so it's easy for me to go there. So thank you for that message, the reminder, because I did that. I had to do it before. I had to let go and give it to God. So thank you both. God bless you both.
And again, provide that safe haven, that ultimate non-judgmental, non-biased safe haven, and he may ultimately choose to exit that situation to go to where your safe haven is. Again, you just want to kind of provide that. Because sometimes we feel trapped in like, I can't tell my mom or I can't tell my dad because, they're warning me about doing so, and you don't want to do that. And then what happens also is we are, and I think anyone listening will agree with this, sometimes we get so embarrassed by how stupid or weak we feel in a situation that we don't want anyone to know what's going on. And we try to keep don't talk out loud. Song goes.
Yes, so, I know he's there. Yeah.
Pat, if I could just, Rudy, that is amazing. And thank you so much for adding that. I'm going to tell you, Pat, a little personal thing. I have another sister. I have a lot of sisters and brothers. I do. And one of my sisters early on in her dating life met a gentleman that we didn't love. And for a lot of reasons, he was dealing drugs. He got her hooked on drugs. She probably would have gone down that path anyway. I'm not going to blame him. But he was also very physically abusive to her. And what I learned, whenever she would come to me and tell me this or that happened and want to vent or share this violent experience or this fight that they had, the moment I would start saying, you need to leave him, he's going to kill you, you need to get off the drugs, let's just go with the relationship and the physical abuse part. The moment I would start defending her and go against him, she would immediately, and it's human nature when we love someone, the moment somebody speaks out against somebody we love and we want to be with, to the point where at one point he broke her jaw, and when she could talk again, all she could do is defend him. So I learned to, instead of saying, You need to, you have to, this is what's going to happen. I would say,
Yes.
where do you see this going? Do you think he's capable of stopping without help? Do you feel like this is something that in 5 years you're still going to be in the same situation? Ask those therapist questions. And when you ask those therapist questions, you're going to get completely different answers. And you may not get the answer right then and there. They may just, my sister just, the first time I said, and how's that working for you? She gave me a lot of swear words in a row. I thought she was writing a swear word dictionary, and she hung up on me, but she did think about it, because when we say that, it triggers something in their brain. Now, if there are drugs involved in this situation or violence, I'm going to tell you something that you might not want to hear. This is something your son needs to heal, because he is somehow attracting this or comfortable with or thinking it's okay for this to be in his life. So if it wasn't this girl, it would be the next girl or the next guy friend.
I know.
So that's where
it was me before. Yeah.
So I really hope.
And honest, I don't.
Go ahead, love.
There is love there. There is love there, and I want them very much to make this a success. I'm not in a position of pitting one against the other and thinking you need to leave. I know that's up to them, and it's simple. It's emotional rage, and and everything you're saying is true. And I just get worried sometimes about the safety, because they've talked about it, and so I just want to, occasionally check in. But it's good to hear all this and to be reminded, and thank you, and my heart feels better.
Well,
thank you both.
Continue to pray, and it will get better. It really, truly will.
Absolutely.
Yes, prayer.
That's right. I've done a couple clearings for them and anybody else in an emotionally or physically abusive relationship, even if it is emotional rage, that that this heals, that this gets released from them, whatever is causing this. So hopefully that will be helpful for them.
Thank you, Toni.
You're welcome, love. You are so
That's priceless.
Welcome.
Thank you. God bless. Talk to you soon.
Absolutely.
God bless. Bye-bye. Thanks.
Rudy, I want to go to YouTube, because there's a couple people who have, I think, asked a question, but I haven't been able to read them. Getting an offer for a full-time job. Oh, okay. That I will accept before the end of the year. Okay, so I think the name is Di wants to know if he's going to get an offer for a full-time job before the end of the year. I want to say you're going to get an offer, but you might not take it because you might feel like the money's not enough, or I'm getting something with a transition is not enough. So I'm sorry to hear that, but remember, if there's, I always say this, and Rudy, I know you agree, and even though this is a relationship show, if there's not a job, if you can't find a job, make a job. We all have skills. We can contract with a company. We can start a company. And starting a company, especially in today's world, if the lockdowns taught us anything, it's that we all can work from home. So if you cannot find a job, start your side job, start doing whatever your skills are, put them out there for people instead of looking online for who's offering what. Put yourself online and say, listen, these are my skills. Who wants me? Okay. And see what comes, because you might be amazed. And this is for anybody looking for work right now. Put your skills online. This is what I do. This is what I've done. This is my rate. Come and get me. And that will be the best thing that you could possibly do for yourself, especially during this holiday season. And I know when you work for yourself, if people pay cash, you can offer them a discount, a cash discount. And that would be, that might work for you also. Okay. I'm going to go to the next caller. Rudy, are you ready for the next caller?
I sure am. Let's do it.
916, please take us off of speakerphone. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Hello? 916? Okay, well, apparently 916. We're going to go to 530 next. 530. I think they went to take us off
Okay.
speakerphone and accidentally hung up. So if you call back, I'll try to get to you. 916. 530. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, Sherry, California.
Hey, Sherry. How are you today?
Wonderful. Thanks for getting to me. I appreciate you both. What's going on?
So,
I had a question
yes.
about moving. It's not necessarily love unless there's love when I move. Wanted to see if you see me finding somewhere suitable for me and my dogs between now or in the next 60 days or whenever you see it.
Ooh. Okay, so what I'm gonna the first thing I'm hearing, Sherry, is you have to be willing to compromise. I see that you might end up doing a part-time sort of sublet or living with somebody else. And I know, please don't say, no, I won't do that, because, this is just what I'm getting. It's a possibility that somebody might offer for you to stay with them until you find that place that you need to be in. I do feel like, and I know a lot of people give me heat when I say this because it sounds overwhelming, but I do feel like your relocation may not be local. Now, whether this means you go further out into like a rural, I can never say that word. Rudy, can you say the word rural? Rural.
Yeah.
that type of area, if you're out in that type of area, or you're relocating to another city or even another state, I feel like wherever you end up, it might not be the very next place you go, but the place after that, you're going to have a lot more luck as far as work. It's almost like a do-over. It's a very solid, very energy do over that allows you to open up and feel like there are new possibilities again. And I can't state this enough, and maybe Rudy, maybe you know what I'm talking about when I say this. Sometimes when you're in a certain specific area or location, everybody around you might be doing okay, but for some reason you're not finding the right job, the right person, the right friends. I say don't be afraid to try a whole new area that might work better for you. That's just not your vibration. That's not your energy. You need to find a place with your energy. Rudy?
Correct. And not every place is for every person. So you've got to find
Yes.
what truly suits you. So yeah, I agree with you on that. And I love what you were saying earlier, Toni. Don't limit yourself to subletting or leasing, or don't limit yourself.
Yeah.
Life in some aspects is limiting enough. Why limit yourself? Why set them up? Well, and I'm in a rural area now, and I had felt it was a little too isolated. So I'm open for a move, and that may be what's happening. Do you see something opening up in the next couple months, or
Okay,
this month, or what?
I'm gonna say this again, sweetie, and I'm gonna ask you to go back and listen to the show again, because maybe I didn't say it in a way that you could completely understand it, but I'm gonna try to say it again. Um, you may need to stay with someone else before you find that permanent move. And if it's not that you're moving to a rural area, I feel like you are moving to a new area. It might not be in that same area, but I do feel like you are going to end up being further out. At least for the first move, you are going to be further out. Now, will you find something in 60 days? Well, how willing are you to compromise? If you're going to be stubborn and say, this is the only thing I'm going to accept, you may not find something. You are going to need to compromise. You may need to sublet or stay with somebody else for that first period of time, if that makes sense, for a little bit of time until you find that next place. I hope that helps you, sweetie. And again, I'm going to give you the same advice I gave to the last person. And that advice is, if you cannot find a place, if you are actively looking for a place, put an ad out of what you're looking for, not an ad, but a listing out of what you're looking for and what you can afford, and see what comes to you. Of course, be safe. Please be safe if you decide to go that route. Rudy, I think we have time for one more person. Let's go to 773.
Let's do it.
Wow.
Hi.
Hi. How are you? Thank you for taking my call. I appreciate it. So I'm just having a general.
You have an amazing phone voice, I've got to say.
Right? She does.
Wow, thank you.
Yes.
I appreciate that so much.
People are as friendly sounding as you. This is great.
This is when I say you can definitely feel her energy coming through the phone, and it just makes you smile. I love that.
Oh my God.
What's the name and where are you calling from again?
So much hugs. My name's Elizabeth, and I'm calling from Illinois.
Excellent.
Oh, Elizabeth, you give good phone. What's going on? Tell us.
Yes.
I'm just curious about. I'm just curious about upcoming relationships, maybe romantic. If there's anything on the forecast.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm taking it by that question. You don't have a relationship now?
No.
Okay. I just want to make sure you're trying to get a relationship. Look, if there's something going on.
I'm going to say, Elizabeth, you have the potential, and I have to say potential because it depends. You know what? I was going to say about a month, between a month and a half, but then I hear New Year's Eve. If you get invited out New Year's Eve, and I don't mean a big New Year's Eve bar bash sort of thing. If you get invited out New Year's Eve or around the New Year's, especially, which includes Christmas celebrations, go. And Rudy, I know you can help me with this one. I know you're going to help all the women listening right now. Excuse me so much. When you are out, if you're with your friends and you are enjoying the conversation, look around. Take that moment to glance around and see if anybody's checking you out, because sometimes we're out and we're so into the conversations that we have that even when we're single, we're not looking around to see who's looking at us, who's checking us out. I have friends that tell me when I go out with them, oh, this person or that person were checking you out, and I'm like, really? Because I don't look around, because I really don't. I don't know. It's not that I don't care. I just don't, whatever. But if you're not looking around, you won't see somebody checking you out. And if you're not making eye contact, somebody might not come up and talk to you. So even if you're at like a out to dinner with someone, don't be afraid to look around. Don't be afraid to make eye contact with somebody. Don't be afraid to, if you walk past somebody who has been looking at you, to go to the restroom and say hi, whatever, however that works. And Rudy, what is your take on that?
I think you are absolutely correct. And whether it's a woman or a man, we're not always as aware of our surroundings. So it's great that you could actually say that and be advised of that. Elizabeth, though, I'm just really curious. You really do. I was teasing, but I'm serious. You have such positivity and tremendous energy through the phone. In your opinion, why are you single? Did you end a relationship recently? Are you struggling to find that right someone? What's going on? I feel like there's more to the story.
I've been really vexed by. I'm really picky, and I parent, so I have to be very cautious, especially with everything going around. So I haven't put myself out there because I don't feel safe really doing that. It seems kind of tacky. There's someone I've been like flirting with, but they're abroad in another country, and they're an old friend, and so yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
So is it, when you say that you're picky, is it that, because I don't necessarily think people are picky, I think that they just have standards or non-negotiables, but when your definition of picky, is it that people are approaching you and they're a lot less than what you want? Or like, I'm just still trying to get a little more clarity.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm not really putting myself out there. I don't really have a huge opening in my schedule, so I'm looking online, but then I'm like, what am I going to do with this online people? And it just, I'm just not meeting anyone new.
So
okay, I will tell you psychic, and then Toni, I definitely want you to tune in on this. But as a guy, I am now getting from your vibe that I don't know if you're necessarily opening yourself up to the possibilities of a relationship or a good friendship or whatever's going on. You do, to me, I'm feeling and sensing a little bit of like a blockness there. And I don't know if it's the precaution of the children or of you not wanting to get hurt or whatever, but I'm feeling like there's a little bit of a barrier that it's almost like you're like at a pool and you're like kind of dipping your toe in the water, but you're not really, like you're really, really close to the water, but you're not really in, and you want to go for a swim, but you're not really sure you want to get your head. Like I'm sensing a little bit of like double dutch. Do I jump in? Do I not?
Yeah, I guess at this point I'm just like, it would be really nice to meet someone that's warm that I know and build a friendship. And I guess that's why I'm so drawn to my friend who's abroad, because it's this familiar, loving human.
So what I'm going to say, and Rudy, those are great questions, and thank you for digging deeper with her. And the block, I think, is she's not over the last person or what happened with the last person. And I'm going to say we all want that situation where somebody just walks up to us and says, hey, I'm your next person. I'm not going to hurt you. Let's go. We all want that. Trust me. I don't care if you have children, you don't have children. Nobody wants to go through the dating process, not even men. Men who are excited to date, they might be players. If they're like, I love dating, they might just be players. So they want to eat at the buffet rather than fine dining. That's all I'm saying about that.
What guy doesn't want a shiny new toy every chance they get?
Yeah,
that's the reality of it. So,
and that's one of the problems with these dating sites is women are on there and they're very serious and they're laying out the map for these guys to come in, to love bomb them, to tell them everything that they want to hear because you put your whole profile out there and what you want. So this guy reads your profile, assesses you, but he's doing it to 10 or however many other women and knows like, well, look at all these options. It's like taking your 5-year-old into the candy store and saying, okay, go ahead and have candy one piece at a time, but you can have as much as you want. Now, not every guy on a dating site is like that. I'm going to say that. Not every guy on a dating site is like that. But some of them are, and some women are too. That's why women, it's easy to meet somebody organically. It's easy to be in that organic situation where we just meet someone and we don't have to go through the whole Q&A and the dating process. So I get that, Elizabeth. And one thing, Rudy, when a woman has children, especially younger children, there are many different abuses that we're potentially trying to protect our children from. So I get that end of it too. And there is the thing that you are not over how the last relationship ended or why it ended. So I'm going to clear that now for you because that's huge, because you'll never totally trust another relationship until that part is resolved, and realize not every guy's the same, not every woman's the same. We all, and we're not the same from one relationship to the next. Like, hopefully we've learned and we've grown from that. There is the potential for you to meet somebody between a month and a month and a half time. Now, like Rudy said, if you're not ready, if you're not open, that's why it's a potential and it's not set in stone. Okay? It's a potential because we have to let down our guard a little bit and we have to be a little bit vulnerable. And when we really want something, sweet girl, we will make time for it. We will.
Mm.
What I'm
Yes,
going
we
to,
will. Just like a
yeah, we will. If we really want that relationship, we will make the time to go out and meet somebody. Or we all want that romantic comedy movie where we're both reaching for the same loaf of bread in the grocery store, the same apple. It doesn't always happen like that. Sometimes we have to literally be out in an environment where people are also looking and interested. I do feel like, again, between a month and a half, if you are ready, there is the potential for someone to come in. This guy is a good guy. I feel like he has a bit of a professional career. I feel like he works in more of an office setting, professional office setting. I do feel like he has something to do with finance. Now, there are a lot of ways to vet people now, to do background checks. I always say CCAP is my favorite place to go when I meet somebody. One thing one of my sister's friends does, and if a guy isn't willing to do this, even if you've met him but you haven't gone out on a date with him, ask him to send you a screenshot of his driver's license so you can look him up, know he's using his real name, and look up his details about him. He doesn't have to send you his whole address, but just so you have his real face and his real name. I cannot tell you, I can tell you, but I won't. But and just check the guy out and ask if you're more comfortable trying to meet somebody through your friends, call your friends who are in good, healthy relationships and say, listen, I'm ready to get back out there. Do you know anybody who might be interested in having a conversation with me? Just a conversation. That might be a safe way for you to get back out there again. Rudy?
okay. I think you were spot on with all of that. The only other thing I would add is also, when you can, check their social media. And the
Yes.
reason being is this: if there's not a lot in terms of relationship or family or anything like that, then one, they may have a problem forming and maintaining relationships, or B, they may have something to hide. The other part about this is you can learn a lot about a person's interests, their perspectives, and the kinds of things. You know, a cheater's going to have all kinds of sexual, women, whatever things on their social media stuff. You know, a narcissist has a page that's all about them. So you can learn a lot about people. The only other thing I'll say is this, Elizabeth, don't know you. I'm not a psychic, but I can just sense you have a lot of love to give, and you want to give it. And again, if you can work on not being as blocked, I think that the love that you have to put out, the love that you want to put out, will come back to you. It's going to take time. It's not going to be easy, but I can just sense that about you, and you deserve it. You truly deserve the love that you want, and it will come back to you.
Absolutely. I
I
agree
appreciate that
100.
so much.
I agree
But I feel
100%.
you have a tremendous capacity for love. I just sense it. I really do.
I love that. Do you feel that there is any potential for this person that's overseas at all?
Oh. Okay, so we only have about a minute left in the show, so this is what I'm going to say. There's a potential
90
for
seconds.
there's a potential for any relationship, but you need to be practical. Who's relocating? When are they relocating? If it doesn't work out, what happens? What's the job situation? You need to be really practical about that, because romance is one thing, and this person overseas right now is really safe. And again, there's like 30 seconds left to the show now, so I'm going to talk very quickly and thank everybody for watching and listening. But
60 seconds.
it's really easy to romanticize something that is not realistic. And I want you to consider that after we're done talking. It's very easy to romanticize something that cannot happen. Rudy?
So he's just not even an option. Okay.
I'm not saying he's not an option. What I'm saying is,
Yeah, no, I don't think it's not an option. I think you just have to have a real practical understanding of what the reality is. Like Toni just said, would this person be willing to move here? Would you be possibly moving there? How will all those things work out? It's very romantic to have this overseas love affair.
And second,
but you know, when the rubber meets the road and that reality check is written, what's really there? And is it the distance or the absence that makes the romance burn a little brighter? Really, really think about those things. It's not impossible. It's just a matter of what are you both willing to invest into this relationship, and you both have to do it. You both have to be willing and committed to doing it.
And one other thing I really want to say, and this is so, when two people connect on the phone or through messages or however they connect, it's easy to have just only this image of the person and to understand the person this way. But if this person is overseas, what are the cultural differences? In a lot of other countries.
No, I mean, I know him. I've met him before. I mean, we've known each other. We've had a relationship before.
Okay.
So, when I was in Europe.
Okay, so what I want to say again is it's really easy to romanticize something that is not as available or real as it's really easy to romanticize and to hold on to this because there's not a real answer here. And I think whatever happened in Europe, it was real and it was good. And but if this is something that both of you really wanted, I think you would have worked out the moving parts already. Okay, I don't know if that's the right way to say it, but if this is something that both of you really wanted and wanted to move forward with, you would have worked out those moving parts. You'd be talking about relocation and I was going to say visitations, visiting each other. You'd be having those discussions about how can we make this happen and really stick to it. And you would be looking at how you could get back to Europe. What's the school system like? What job can I have there? Or he would be having those discussions with you and looking at potential visas and possible ways to get here. If that's not happening, I'm not saying it's not real love. I'm saying this is a safety net and an excuse for you not to get into something else. And I know that sounds really harsh, and I know that you might not like the way that sounds. Either you're making moves towards him so that you can give this a real shot. He's making moves towards you so you can give this a real shot, or you guys are just holding on to each other and using, like, you know what? Okay, Rudy, go ahead. We're way over the hour, but do it, Rudy. Give your thoughts on that.
I think you said it all, and I think we're only kind of repeating what we said before. It's just a matter of figuring out what you're both willing to invest in this and what the reality is, who's going where, and who wants to stay where, and you have to figure those things out. The last thing I will say is this, don't get caught up or hung up on a fantasy, because that sometimes can be such a time suck, is that you spend so much time fantasizing about what can or will be. And the best example I can give of this is, I call it chocolate cake. I'm always on some sort of diet, always trying to lose weight. And the second I hear I can't have that chocolate cake, it becomes the best, most amazing thing in the world, and I have to have it. And it's the only thing permeating and burning in my brain. I gotta get it, gotta have it, gotta think about it. And because I can't have it, or I think I can't have it, it's so enticing, and I can't think about anything else but that. If you don't let this fantasy overwhelm you and you really look at it from a realistic lens, you may realize, I'm never moving there, or he's never moving here, or you know what, there's a reason why this thing ended back when it did. And you have to really start to think about those things as well, because it's very romantic, it's very exciting. Possibilities are beautiful, but they can be all-consuming sometimes, and you want to also deal in a bit of reality.
Absolutely. And I'm going to... Rudy, you hit on a perfect thing there. And I've done this in a relationship where I fell so in love with the idea of the relationship and where it could go. And I was in love with the person, head over heels in love with the person, but I wasn't being realistic. I had this fantasy about the potential, what it could be. But in reality, what was real is right now. and I wasn't dealing with that. So for you, beautiful girl, have a conversation. You know what Rudy said, what I said, we don't know.
We've literally just reconnected.
Okay.
But, I mean, we haven't, but, and I planned on going to Europe this summer, but, and I do plan on relocating at some point, but, I mean, I was just curious, like, I'm not, like, you know, moving tomorrow because of a quick conversation. It's just that, you know, very really old folks.
Like, off to other possibilities because you have this opportunity.
No.
That's all.
I believe.
I definitely want to keep myself open.
And I'm going to say, I believe that we can make any relationship work depending on the amount of sacrifice and work we want to put into it. If both people are willing, and even if it's only one person that's willing, I've seen relationships work where only one person was working it. It's exhausting. But if you really believe this is your person, don't bank on summer visitation.
It's just a feeling.
Okay, then have that conversation with that person. Say, listen, where is this going? Do you feel the same way I feel? Do you think this has the same potential I think it has? How do you really feel about me? And this is my favorite line. And if they cannot answer this, it's because they have not thought of it. And if they have not thought about it, and believe me, a guy thinks about it. A guy knows, and Rudy will tell you in a second. What do you see for us in your future? Now, if a guy has envisioned a future with you, he can answer that. And since you two have already been in something, even if you're just reconnecting, if he can't answer that, it's not that he can't, it's that maybe it wouldn't be the answer that you want, maybe. Now, maybe Rudy and I are wrong, but Rudy?
No, I think much like staying in that place. Okay.
Elizabeth, we love you for calling in.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for sharing with us.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, and
so much.
I love your question because I think the answers to your question are going to be really helpful for a lot of other people too. So thank you. It was really, really, really fun. Well, maybe not so much fun for you, but it was maybe it was a pure torture for you.
I really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
No, it was really perfect. I mean, the energy is opened, and it doesn't have to be anything other than just an opening of energy, and I don't have to see it as everything else.
Okay.
Absolutely. And of course she had fun. We told her she had a lot of love to give. So there you go.
Absolutely.
But, have a good day.
Yeah, thank you, Elizabeth. And
bye. Thank you, guys.
Bye-bye. Thank you. And to everybody listening, everybody watching, everybody rewatching or re-listening, thank you so much. And Rudy, it's always such an honor and a pleasure to have you on. I just love your wisdom. Thank you so much.
I love being with you. I love talking to everyone out there, and I love even watching. So the idea that I get a chance to participate is an honor. So you honor me. So I thank you.
Absolutely, my pleasure. Now, Rudy doesn't know I'm about to do this because I wanted to do it at the beginning, but I was already full on into the show talking. But Rudy just has a new furniture line out. Rudy, can you tell people where they can find your furniture line? It's awesome. I love this furniture. I wanted to order every piece.
Thank you. It's called Rude Mood. It's made from all natural products. So right now, a lot of it is wood. It's authentic. It's eco-friendly. It's fully functional. It's also incredibly sturdy because I am a parent of two horrible teenagers. So I'm only kidding. They're wonderful. But it can certainly take a beating. And go to rudemood.com. You can check it out. You can order. And we're actually offering, I think you can pay for things in installments pretty soon. So it's a lot of great fun. I would definitely check it out. And if you use promo code Toni, you'll get a discount.
Oh, and you know what? I looked at all of the furniture. There were a couple pieces. I was like, oh my gosh, I wish I needed a couch right now, or I wish I needed a corner piece right now. And I loved them. And they're so reasonably priced. It's amazing. I love the pricing on them. So folks, go check it out. And you might find.
You did that. What you don't know is we are about to launch, and this is an exclusive right now on your show. We're launching a candle collection. So there'll be a series of mood candles with all different sorts of scents. And the idea is that you choose a candle that reflects your mood. We have happy, we have funny, we have sexy, fearful, we have inspired, we have power, and the scents will help you just enhance whatever it is you're feeling at that moment. So I hope you'll get the entire collection. Those are extremely affordable as well. And what you can also do is there's a wonderful little QR code. You can zap it with your phone, and while you light your candle, you can watch shows like Toni G.
I love it. Now, folks, Christmas is coming. These might be some beautiful, beautiful Christmas gift ideas for someone you love or for yourself. Until next time.
Buy them for yourself.
Yeah, definitely buy it for yourself. Absolutely. I'll be back on Monday at noon. Thank you so much, everybody, for hanging tough with us today and sticking with us through this whole show. It's been a lot of fun. And again, thank you, Rudy, so much for joining me today.
Thank you. Have a great day, everyone.
Bye-bye.